Hello wonderful people, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bola, and today we'll be doing a princess dart blouse, a princess dart peplum blouse. Just for us to have an idea of what we'll be doing, I have a sketch here. This is the blouse and this is the skirt. So from my neckline to my waist, I'll be using 18 inches. I have my paper on fold and I have the lines. I already mark out the line. The first line here is my shoulder line. The first line is my shoulder line, and on the shoulder line I'll be taking my shoulder measurements. I have my bust line, the under bust line, and the waist line, then the allowance for joining the upper piece to the peplum. I'll be working with these beautiful fabrics. I'll be working on this fabric. Okay, the first thing I'll be doing on my pattern paper is to determine my bust span. The bust span I'm working with is 4.5. I'll be taking 4.5 and I'll be connecting that to make a straight line. All right. On the under bust line, I'll be taking 1.5 inch on both sides. On the under bust line, I'll be taking 1.5 inches. And on the waistline, I'll be taking 1 inch. 1 inch on the waist. 1 inch on the waist and 1.5 on the under bust line. So I'll be connecting the 2 points. Okay, so on the bust line, I'll be going down by 1 inch. I'll go down 1 inch on the bust line, and I will also go up by 1 inch on the bust line. So I will connect this point to the 1 inch below my bust line. I'll connect the point to the 1 inch below my bust line. Okay, I haven't done that. I'll move over to the shoulder line. The shoulder I'm working with is 16 inches. Into 2 will give me 8. So I'm taking 8 inches, then ½ inch allowance. My armhole measurement, my armhole is 9 inches. So I'll connect the points. To form my armhole. The shoulder, the neck design I'm working with is a canoe neck. So I'll be taking 5 inches width and 2.5 inches depth. Okay, haven't done that. I will take my shoulder slope. The shoulder slope of 1 inch. I'm going to connect it. I will determine the midpoint. We are left with 8 inches now, so I'm going to determine the midpoint. The midpoint is 4 inches. So I'm connecting this 4 inches, this point, to this 1 inch above our bust line. I'm connecting this point to this 1 inch above the bust line. Okay, so I'm going to take ½ inch on both sides. On both sides, I'll be taking ½ inch. So I'll try to connect to these points as well. I'll be connecting the ½ inch to this point. Okay, so I will take my cuff. I'm going to blend this to a cuff. So it's no longer pointed, it's no longer sharp, it's now a cuff. Okay. So we can now take our circumference measurements. This now is forming our chest line, and on this chest line we'll be determining our bust. The bust I'm working with is a bust of 11.25. I can do 11.5, 11.5, bust 45, 11.25, but I'll do 11.5. I'm going to take ½ inch for this part that I'll be cutting out. I'll take ½ inch, then my allowance. I'll take 2 inches for the allowance. I'll take 2 inches for the allowance. I'll move over to the waistline. Waist 41, which is 10.25. I can also do 10.5. Okay. I can also do 10.5. Then I'll replace this dart that I'll be cutting out. I'll replace it, the 2 inches dart. I'll replace the 2 inches dart. Okay, and I will do, I'll do 2 inches allowance. I'll do 2 inches allowance. Then I will connect it. I'll connect it to make a I'll connect the points. Okay, this now is our allowance. When cutting out on my fabric, I can increase it by 1 inch, so just to give me more room for allowance. I will just increase it by 1 inch on my fabrics, but this is also good. So I'll come over here. I will increase it by 1.5. I'm going to increase this by 1.5. Then I'll take my cuff to make a cuff for the armhole. I hope that is well taken. So my shoulder line, I will add my allowance of ½ inch. This now is my joining allowance to connect the shoulders together, and this is our front pattern. This now is our front pattern. I'll cut it out now, trace it out of my fabrics, join it together, and I will bring it back. So after cutting it out, this is now what we have for our princess bustier. I've joined the middle piece with the side piece, and this is now our bustier.